Hello everybody, what's up? Cedric and Cedric here, CR Wrestling Commentary, and we will be reviewing WrestleMania in Las Vegas, night 1. We haven't watched night 2 yet. We got done with night 1, and Cedric's getting ready to do night 2. I was like, why don't we talk about night 1? Because I'm thinking I'm going to forget about stuff. It's a long night, but for the most part, it was a good night.
Yeah.
Very interesting, very storyline altering. This was good. This was good for the most part. For the most part.
Yeah.
So, Cedric, you took the notes. I think she forgot to take notes later on.
I mean, I took some. So it starts off with the long opening. Triple H is talking about something in the glory of WrestleMania, and I just wish he wouldn't do the voiceovers because they don't do anything to get you ready to want to watch wrestling. Like the dude who used to do the voiceover for TNA when they first started having pay-per-views like Bound for Glory, oh man, he had that voice like in a world. It was great. Triple H don't do that for you, but they're not gonna change that. So the first match was Jey Uso versus Gunther, which I thought it was weird to start off the first night with a title match, but I get it because they're ending the night with the triple threat, and people want to see the triple threat more than they want to see the title match. So, Jey Uso comes out. He's got this huge ass opening, and people run out down this long ramp with flags that say yeet, and they're swinging it around. And of course, he doesn't come down the ramp. He comes through the crowd, but he is smart and does not yeet the whole way because we know what happens when he does. He be all blown up and out of breath and half-ass wrestling, so he didn't do that. He had to come a long way through the crowd. He got there, got in the ring, kept it calm. Okay. And Gunther comes out. You know how Gunther comes out. You just
walk to the ring.
Jacket on to come out.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
I like it.
And they start wrestling. And, yeah. I mean, Jay did.
Damn.
Jay did what Jay did.
How was that for you, baby? Yeah. Damn.
Jay did what Jay does. I think that he could be a far more effective wrestler if he stops with all the small wrestler techniques. My words are escaping me, but he won't do that.
Yeah.
He did what he always does. Gunther, on the other hand, did not. He didn't show up. He showed up just enough to get paid today. He did not show up the way we've seen him show up in just regular non-title matches. They go back and forth. Jay wins.
Here. Okay, y'all. Y'all might get mad at me like, oh, here he go. But let me explain two things, because Gunther has bragging rights, and seeing how Monday Night Raw is probably in its second hour or starting its third, is 10, 11 p.m. here.
Yeah, into its third.
I don't know if it started at 7. I mean at 8 or 9. Look, Gunther's got bragging rights, but before getting into the bragging rights, Gunther did show up enough. All right, he did. I ain't gonna have too much tangent after this, but Gunther showed up enough to show that he can carry someone through a match. Gunther led that match. He led that match. You could see it. He got to get Jay over. Jay's got to get himself over. Jay is not what I see from this match champion material, but they had no choice but to do this. He won the Royal Rumble. Then they do a long build-up. They destroy Jimmy. They destroy Jay. Jay has to find that thing within him. And he finds enthusiasm he can be hype, but he's not showing I've got a champion mode. Then during the match, Michael Cole says it would be could he score the upset victory? I'm like, whoa, dude.
Yeah, he said it. He right.
Yeah, but damn. The upset victory, that's like you are supposed to lose.
Yes.
The commentary is there to make sure that the wrestlers look good. They're not there. Even when they're talking trash on the heels sound like someone that's hard to beat or you don't want to be in the ring with because they're that dastardly.
I get what you're saying, but to say anything, I mean, they lie already. I mean, just don't make it too blatant. Because if you look at the tail of the tape, there is no way that Jay should have won.
Correct. Now, in short, the way a match should be done, all right, and I think all of you can agree with this. Your champion, that champion, male or female or other, has wrestled and won. Wrestle and win. That's how they should always be presented. Strong. They wrestle their game strong. The challenger has to come up to their level and beat them on that level. That is the idea. And you don't have to it doesn't have to be better than the next. You just have to come up and beat them on their level. They don't do that in WWE anymore. Not that I've seen. They don't do that. What they do is they'll just have somebody go out there and Sonata it, and then the new person wins. And Seiya Sonata, or Sonata, all caps, got a habit of, we know how good the guy is, so when he's going to lose a title match or any match, you can look and tell he ain't there.
He's
okay.
going through the motions.
Bragging rights for Gunther. Jay had to fight Gunther using Gunther's moves.
He did.
Gunther at this juncture can say, you didn't beat me, Jay. I beat me. You had to use my power bomb. You had to use my kick. You had to use my chop, my elbow, my sleeper. You had to use Gunther to beat Gunther. It's that simple.
And Jay tapped him out. But it wasn't like a struggle. It was like, he's in the move. Tap out. It's like, what?
Okay, I guess it's over.
Yeah.
And like Sonata, Gunther rolled out the ring and walked
back up the
ring.
ring.
Okay, I did my thing. I left.
And they presented Jay with the belt. Now, it could be the situation where the truth has not hit him yet. It hadn't hit him yet. It's still surreal.
It could be.
It could be.
It could be. Some people, like I was telling Cedra, that people, they say, look, we know it's a work, yada, yada. You go out there, you do your job, and then you win the belt. And you're like, good, I won, yada, yada. Then you get to the back, you're like, man, I'm the champion. Then it starts hitting you. They really put their faith in me. They're trusting me. They want me to be the flagship of this company. Oh, my goodness. Then it hits. Sometimes it hits right in the middle of the ring. So sometimes you see joy, tears, and whatnot. When they win, yeah, we know it's a work. But they're like, wait a minute. This is real. Like, it's true. Because at any given point of that match, they can send a message to the referee saying, hey, we want this instead. And change the outcome of the match.
With that being said, Jay looked like, I got it.
Yeah, now what? When he won the Royal Rumble, as Cedra pointed out when we was talking.
The moon.
Uh-huh.
Out there with the family and everything, out in the fans and cheering, and the music played. I mean,
when he won the Royal Rumble, you would thought he won the title.
You thought he had won the title of all titles and won't nobody else gonna ever win it again. But this time it was like, I got it. And then Jimmy got in the ring, and Jimmy was far more excited than he is.
Yep.
Jay was in that match with Gunther. He had to feel it. You understand what I'm saying when I say that? he had to feel that this don't look right. It don't feel right. It don't make sense.
Yeah. Maybe that could be it.
Maybe.
Or maybe to them, it's like, look, man, I'm at work. I'm doing my job. I'm just, they want to put this on me. Okay, I'm going to do my thing with it. Something. I don't know what's going on. You'll find out. You'll find out in about 20 years. You'll find out about a year to 3 after Jey Uso retires from wrestling. Or 2 years later if they allow him to talk about it. Like for some WWE rivals, but then again, they kayfabe in rivals as well, so it don't even matter. And we can go into the next match.
All right.
This to me was the worst match of the night.
Agreed.
But it was a good match. 3 stars. I give it 3 stars. I ain't going on Dave Meltzer's crap. I would give this 3 stars. It was standard. They did their stuff. They didn't screw anything up.
Oh yeah, they were safe. Nobody got hurt. It was a match. The rest of the match.
They entertained the fans. It's just, I'm sorry, y'all. Just people like me. I'm like, well, I see where this is going. Let's just hope that they perform well, and they performed well. They had a lot of heat going in. It wasn't headlining or anything. So I'm going. When I say a 3-star match, well, my star rating isn't based on Stevie Richards with all the points of drawing power, butts and seats, yada yada. No, I'm going on just match quality only. It's Dave Meltzer area. It's also where things were believed back in the day. Was that match by itself? We're not talking about the build up, the hype up, and no, just that match alone. Take everything from it. Was that, what ranking would you give it? So, to me, that match alone, I would say 3-star. You go on the build up and everything like that. Sadly, it can't get higher than a 4. Because the build up was amazing. The fight back, the comeback was amazing, but then the match happens and it's like, okay.
I wasn't amazed by the build up.
I thought it was great.
Okay.
I thought it was great.
It wasn't competitive.
When I say the build up, I'm talking about before the match.
Before the match, from Royal Rumble to him choosing Gunther, it was not competitive.
No, Gunther's the heel. He's got to whoop his ass. Yeah, he's got to make him look downright beaten so that Jey can start his 2-week comeback and then say, now we're on equal footing. And then you get to the match. You're like, okay, how is it going to go? The fans. Okay. And look, I don't mean this derogatorily, y'all. I don't. But I'm saying, how are the marks feeling? The ones that have emotionally put in this match. Those who have invested their time and energy into watching this build-up. So how do they feel about it? To me, I thought it was a great build-up.
I thought it wasn't competitive. Gunther showed up with a rocket launcher, and Jey showed up every time with a spoon. It's like the night.
I think you're just mad because you know who Gunther is and what he can do, and he did not only he only showed up about 30%.
All the time. So how can you put someone who is limited in their visual ability? Jey only shows you just a little bit. If it was not for Leon France, Jey would not have been in this position because his in-ring was not good enough. His in-ring is not good enough for top billing. His in-ring is mid-card at best. But you put him up against Gunther, and you had to make it work because Jey was popular and he yeets, and everybody wants to make noise, and there you go. Not at any point was I like, oh yeah, this is going to be a good match. I can't wait for this. No, Gunther should meet pace him at every turn. But of course, it was so much hype built up, they had no choice. So Gunther went in there and did his job because it's a job. And Jey went in there and did his job because it's a job. And he won. He got the title. You're going to make money. And hey, hopefully he can put some away and retire on in. Don't get hurt. But I just,
Word. Okay. All right. Les du fromage.
The next was a tag team match, New Day versus the War Raiders. It was a good tag team match. I
give it 3 stars.
Yeah, they
the match that the War Raiders won to get those belts, I would give that 4 to possibly 5 stars. And I can't remember the team they beat. I know some of y'all out there can. I cannot remember. It's been so long. It was on Raw. It's been a while.
Yeah, they said it was December.
Yeah, I ain't going to think that far back.
So, yeah, it was a good match. You know, it went back and forth. They got their spots in, the stuff you normally see. It wasn't a standard tag team match. Nobody cut off the ring. There wasn't anyone who got whooped on their side of the ring for a long time to make you want them to come back. There was no hot tags. It was just going back and forth. They go on the outside. They go on the inside. They flip. They did their thing. And
yeah, that's about it.
New Day wins in a kind of fuck finish. I mean, the big dude was being pinned and Kofi Kingston held his foot down outside, which is a good old school move.
But he didn't really hold it down, and not really for long.
He did it for a 3 count.
It's like he got the foot late, and dude wasn't even necessarily trying to kick out like he was writhing from bowel movement.
Hey, man, maybe.
So, but
they won.
And they can battle for that belt, for those belts. It'd be nice.
When they were, declared the winner, Kofi grabbed the belts like, we got to get the hell out of here before the cops come. I mean,
the natives are restless.
Yeah.
Well, the natives would be the former champs at that moment.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Next match was Naomi versus Jade. Naomi came out first. She entered tearing through caution tape. And her outfit looked good. She had her hair all laid down and wavy. It wasn't all thick and foofy. She gets in the ring. She's looking menacing. It's like she's ready to go. And then Jade comes out. Oh, before Jade comes out, Jim Cantori from the Weather Channel.
Oh, my goodness.
Pops up.
Oh, my goodness.
And does a weather forecast. It's all clear. And all of a sudden, a storm comes in. And then Jade comes out. And she looks good. She's got on white and gold and short, white hair or wig, and she gets in the ring, and they start wrestling.
Let's not undersell it too much.
I don't know what else to say. I mean, they
yeah, it won't a fight.
It wasn't a fight. I guess all the fighting's been done.
You could tell Naomi led this match. She called this match. She led it. She did a great job.
She did.
The fans seem so... We were trying to figure out, like, they don't care about this match at all. And then you figured out, no, they don't care about Naomi.
They don't care about Naomi. When Naomi was, whooping up on Jade, they were just kind of, they're here. But when Jade would, get the upper hand and display some of her power and some of her enthusiasm, they started to get behind it a little bit. It kind of began to build. And Jade demonstrated her power. Especially deep in the match.
Yeah, deep
in the match. Because you could tell that she was tired. And Naomi is not a little woman. I'm not saying she's fat. No, it's just she's a wrestler. She's got thick legs and she's got a butt. She's strong. She's got to be, 150 maybe?
Somewhere in that range. She ain't no 130.
And so she was
I've seen 130. They little.
Fireman's carry and all kinds of stuff with the woman on her shoulders and keeping it moving. And Jade did a good job. And what did she do? What would you call that move she did put on her?
If you don't know the name of a move,
describe it.
Use the most technical terms you can. That's what I put in the tabletop game I was making. But yeah, it was an electric chair. Popped up, spun around into a sit-out power bomb or a kneeling power bomb.
Pop-up power bomb from electric chair position into a power bomb.
And it was awesome. It was so awesome.
And it was safe. And then she picked her up for the, what she call it?
Jaded.
Okay, I was curious.
Butterfly face buster.
Well, implant buster.
That's what it. Yeah, that's what we had known it from TNA.
Yeah.
From Kong.
Yeah.
The implant buster. That shit was funny.
And
it took 3. I had to hear that 3 times before I realized. Oh, I get it.
Yeah. But then Naomi was laid to the bone, and Jay got the win.
And the ref was like, "Okay, you can leave. You can leave." Just like, I'm good.
I'm gonna talk a little bit, but I ain't gonna step on her.
Jay looked like she was in a fight.
Yeah.
Both of them, stuff was missing from their attire.
Yeah, stuff had fallen off.
Jay was missing the eyelash.
Yep.
Missing a whole rack of lash. That's how you know somebody was fighting. They missing a whole rack of lash.
But it was a good match, and Jade did a good job. She is coming along with her wrestling.
Yep, Jade has such a awesome bicycle boot kick. I really do like it.
Yeah, it's good. It is good. Let's see. So Jade won, and next was Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight for the U.S. Championship. And Jacob Fatu, he came in, he had on a Roadrunner, a werewolf mask. A werewolf mask, and Solo came out there and was hyping him up, and he had on a nice cream colored suit. Like he break out the nice suits for WrestleMania. The rest just like is seriously off the rack. But then he went on to the back, and Jacob Fatu came out there, and then LA Knight, he got driven 10 feet in a Maserati, and then he got out and walked to the ring, and everybody did his, everybody saying LA Knight, yeah, and then they stripped off the entrance gear and they got to it. LA Knight had the
They fought. They did their job.
LA Knight had the upper hand to begin with. He was a little too quick for 5-2 in the beginning, but Jacob. Jacob. He turns the tides and begins mollywopping LA Knight.
But LA won't just take it though. So I like that.
Yeah, he fought back. What did he do? He did his move off the top rope. What did he do?
Yeah, that double jump elbow drop. You talking about Knight, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean that epic when he counted the BME into the BFT?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that was good.
Too many initials.
Yeah, for real. Everything's got a dang initial.
It's like, you gonna eat a BFT? I was like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know what. I was like, what's a BFT? Then I forgot what it was. Then the announcer said, I'm like, oh, blunt force trauma. Okay.
There you go.
I know what the best moonsault in the world is.
Best moonsault ever.
Ever. BME, that's it. Sorry. Not in the world. There'd be too many initials.
Too many.
That would BMITW.
There you go.
Anyway, they fought on some more, and then Jacob, he landed the BME twice, 2 times on his body, and he crushed him, and he pinned him, and he won the belt. And everybody was happy.
Yes.
Everybody was happy.
They was indifferent for a little bit.
Because I think they were torn, because it's like, LA Knight's our dude, but Fatu was like, our dude.
So it's like, what do we do? It's like, y'all are confusing us tonight.
But 5-2 won. I was happy about that. And there we go.
About it, yeah.
Let's see what we're on.
I thought it was a damn good match, but that capture BFT, I thought that was just so awesome. So yeah. I was sold on that.
It was. The next match is El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix, and it was supposed to be El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio, but Rey got hurt on SmackDown. I don't know how he got hurt, but he got hurt. So they had an extra Rey, so he took the place. I guess they grown him.
I'll be honest with you, I was kind of indifferent to this match,
but it's trying to be a good match.
Yeah, I was like, it's what it is, and I'm watching. I realized I couldn't stop watching it.
It was a good match. So we all know that El Grande Americano is Chad Gable, and Chad had to pull some different moves out his arsenal that weren't, all Chad moves. Chad. That's a sound. That's not a name. Anyway.
Somebody get hit, Chad.
It is. Just like Todd and Biff. Those are sounds.
Biff.
And it was good. It wasn't too much. They weren't going 1,000 miles per hour. They didn't do every move there ever was. It had very good pacing. It had some storytelling. Right as it started nearing towards the end, because Chad and El Grande Americano are baddies and large coffees. He slipped a steel, let's say it was steel, a plate under his mask, and he went in trying to headbutt. And Phoenix, he was like, nope.
Nope. He wasn't trying to avoid the headbutt, knowing that the thing was there. It's just you don't want to get headbutted.
True.
And I like how they did it. It was very old school, masterful. You get to see Americano put that under the mask,
Mm-hmm.
and the crowd is seeing it on the screen, so they're like, oh man. So now they got to see if it can be evaded. That right there is the build up to a finish. They don't do that too much. And I think this was done beautiful. This is old school wrestling. Old school. And when Ray jumped off that rope, he just leaned in and headbutt him. Ray hit the mat.
Don't forget the kick. Ray was up on the apron. He ran and kicked Americano in the head.
I forgot
and
that.
He hurt his ankle, and he went down like, "What the hell?" The ankle was hurt.
And the ref was like, "What's wrong with you? You the one that kicked him."
The ankle was hurt, and then he caught the headbutt.
Yep, he like boop, caught him right in the head. He just laid there. I was like, nice.
And like a body, he was melted to the mat, and then Grande Americano went up and did a
diving headbutt,
the diving headbutt. And then he pinned him because he was done.
It made sense.
Yeah.
It made sense.
And he left the ring, and Vikingo came in, was trying to help Phoenix up, and Phoenix was like limp. He was not rising off the mat under his own power.
And then Vikingo came in because, wow. What happened, AEW? What happened?
What happened? WWE bought AAA.
And Mr. Pony's the one on Discord that sent that stuff out. He had sent like I don't know, it was like a link to something, and I'm like, you're gonna need to show me a lot more evidence than this. So then he sent the press conference. I was like, well, damn, that was epic evidence.
Yeah, really.
I was like, good grief. Okay, let's go super epic and undeniable. You did it. And we can talk about that a different one, but yeah, that. So, like, it's bad enough WWE has done what they've done with a lot of these indie promotions. Now it's like we're going to buy out AAA or AAA, whichever you want to go with, but we're going to buy them. It's so brutal, but this is the same mistake Vince McMahon made that killed a lot of professional wrestling income, and the wrestling business as professional wrestling. It's the same thing, but now that, oh my God.
But see, here's something.
What's next? Dragon Gate?
But
DDT?
After they bought WCW didn't do anything anymore.
Nope.
That's at least to begin with. That's not what's happening for AAA.
But we can talk about that later.
But I just had to say that because I gotta add that caveat to it because you're making it sound like it's just one thing and it's not beginning that way.
I'm worried.
I get
but
it.
But we'll see. We'll see how it go because it's like I bought a housing development and now it's barren land. What? Yeah, we ain't using it. It's like what? So I don't think they're gonna do that again. But okay, let's just hope.
Let's see. The next match was Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton, and Tiffany came out first, which I didn't like. Because she's got the belt.
She's the champion. Why did the champion got to come out first?
I'm guessing that's. I really think that Charlotte's extra, and maybe that's how she wanted it.
They didn't go for traditional champion. They went for who makes more money, who's top billing, who has prestige. And it's like, no, you don't do that.
Nope. And let's see, Tiffany came out, and the whole stage was like a big old Barbie playhouse. And she was in a custom-made Barbie case. It was kind of cool. And she came out, she had an outfit on, had the belt on.
I didn't like that, but hearing how they, and it's by Barbie, by Mattel. And I was like, oh, crap, it's advertisement. That's why they did this. Yeah. Okay.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like,
I just wouldn't have
the
agreed to it.
Maserati, the prime drinks, the Rolls Royce, the Slim Jim. The people with a handful of Slim Jim. People in the crowd win some contest and they just cheering with big old handfuls of Slim Jims. You gonna hold those the whole show? I don't think so. But Tiffany came out and she had on the Tiffany outfit. That, you know, she looked good. Everything was strapped down. She was ready to go. And then Flair came out and she got driven up in a dark gray Rolls Royce, and she came out in her a robe with the big high thing in the back, and it was like pinkish and gray, kind of something like that.
Yeah,
and
it was.
Then she got into the ring and she was all sparkly, bright pink and blue, and they're both all sparkly with the lights dancing off the sparkles and stuff. And got announced, and Flair was in the corner, and Tiffany walked up and stood in the middle of the ring. The bell rang. Tiffany looking at her like, "Bitch, what you want to do?"
Yeah,
and
you could tell there was a thing.
And Charlotte charged her, and they started tussling. It wasn't a lockup. They hit the mat. They started tussling. Tiffany was hammer fisting best she could. It was blonde hair everywhere.
It was a fight, and the fans were into it.
And they went to the floor, and Tiffany was clubbing the hell. She was clubbing Charlotte. She was clubbing her good. The match was off to a good start. They fought outside a little bit. When they got back into the ring, the wrestling ensued, but it was kind of heavy-handed.
It was, but when the wrestling ensued, it brought it down for me, and it brought it down for the fans. These two ladies could have just beat the tar out of each other with no wrestling moves until someone hit a move near the end and got the pin. It would have been just as good. It could have been 2 minutes of brutality. It could have been. They didn't, and they didn't have to, because they proved they know what they're doing.
Yeah, because Tiffany's good.
Tiffany good.
Tiffany is very good. She can carry a match. She's got depth. She's got pacing. Charlotte was calling it, yeah, but they did good. That was a good match. I was really impressed, and they provided more than I was expecting out of them.
I admit I was impressed.
Yeah.
Charlotte called that match, and it was beautiful. That was a Ric Flair match.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Ric Flair match, and it was the styling of it, and I could give that match 5 stars.
They were damaging knees, and Tiffany had a bruised forehead and a busted lip, and there was a definite struggle.
And that is what you want in wrestling, everybody. You want a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't a struggle, it's a dance. If it's a dance, it's not being bought into, and people just wait for the moves. They aren't caring about what's going on. They just care. Was it a high impact move? Was it a kick to the face that looked gruesome? Was it a dive? That's it.
Yeah.
These girls took the fans up and down the whole time, and I think they did a masterful job. Like I said, I can give it 5 stars, but I can't give it less than 4. I can see 5, but I cannot give it less than 4. It's 4 stars solid.
Yeah, Tiffany landed her moonsault solid, and she retained. And she looked like, man, she looked beat up. And to this point, it was the best match of the night.
Exactly. And I'm gonna say this. This is not, for anyone thinking, this is not Charlotte Flair passing a torch. This is saying, Tiffany, we are recognizing you as somebody worth a damn, and you should be up there at the top. But it's up to Tiffany to find her own to stay at the top. Yeah. They can't keep building you. You got to build yourself.
Cause she made it out of mid card. She got out of that Nia Jax stuff. She showed that she's a cut above. She's not just, okay, I'm a girl that can wrestle. She's good. So hopefully, we'll see what they do with her. All right, and the last match, Seth versus Roman versus Punk. They came out in that order. Seth came out in this black robe,
to burn it down.
He looked like he was a replacement, like the fill-in for the Grim Reaper when he goes on vacation. But
Yep.
he's not really the Grim Reaper. He's just like the Yay Reaper, and he doesn't really reap anybody. So that when the Grim Reaper comes back, he got a lot more work to do.
He's not the Grim Reaper. He's the Sad Reaper.
He was that dude, and he had a blowtorch, and he like aimed it at the stage and shot fire, and then the screens did this thing where burning debris was falling. It was like, oh, burn it down, yay! And then everything went black, and then when it came back on, he had on a long white coat with a train, and he was looking kind of
Weird.
sparkly and all in white. I'm gonna leave it there. He walks out to the ring, and they till it's over, and then Roman Reigns' music starts, and he comes out, and he's all jacked and extra tatted,
Yeah, really.
and he's got on like blinding white Jordans that are super duper clean. They're probably fresh out the box, and he gets acknowledged, and he walks to the ring. And then,
Can y'all hear how much he don't give a damn? I mean, damn. Oh, you were born, you lived your life, you got a little thing going, then you died, and then there was somebody else. Damn.
What? I'm not. Their intros don't do anything for me. Get in the ring, motherfuckers.
For you. Damn it. That's something bad. What was that, Zohan?
Yeah. No, that wasn't Zohan. That was something else.
I thought that was one of his LOL intros in Zohan.
No, because he wasn't a ring announcer in Zohan. It was something else.
Damn.
I can't remember, but it was
what
funny.
it was. Okay.
But so then they started this vignette showing Punk back when he was young with his lip piercing and all raggedy looking, and it was layered over with him, all older with no lip piercing and more tattoos.
No
and
lip pissing.
Shut up. And kind of raggedy looking, because CM Punk always looked kind of. Shut up. CM Punk always looked kind of raggedy. Anyway, that's just his shtick. And talking about Heyman and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden this black dude is shredding on the guitar. I'm like, why are you shredding on the guitar? And then it goes into the famous guitar riff from Cult of Personality, and then this dude started singing, and I'm like, who is this singing Cult of Personality? And we had to look it up. It was Living Color, and they're the ones who made the song as a group of black dudes. Who knew?
I didn't know, but y'all that knew. That's who knew.
We didn't know. And then Punk came out, and the lead singer got a selfie with Punk, and then Punk was all happy, and Payman came out with him. He was having the time of his life, like, man, I'm so happy to be in my suit with Punk. And they go down the ramp, and it's clobbering time, and they get in the ring, and the crowd is singing, and it's all gravy. And
Paul Heyman. I'm going to just do this bit the way I would normally do it. CM Punk come out, and it's to the group that sings the song. And it's great. And then he comes out, Paul Heyman's behind him. Punk is getting all the selfies and stuff. He's doing good with them. And then he kneels down for his catchphrase, his clobbering time. But right when he points at his wrist, Paul Heyman shows him his watch. Punk gets a little laugh out of it. And then after that, then it's clobbering time. And Heyman, right before they kissed him on the forehead, like almost like my son. Mm-hmm. And it was great. It was a good feel-good moment, because this is Punk finally main eventing WrestleMania.
Yep.
Finally. And the entrance was down there, was walking all proud and happy, and it was good.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, but go ahead with your shit. Go ahead.
So they all get in the ring.
Yeah, men fought and it was over.
Yeah, man, men fought and then the bell rang and it was over. We were like, yay, there's WrestleMania Night 1. Anyway, Paul saw Roman. And
Cedra is so cold, she would no-sell death. She could get shot in the heart and she just looked down, I guess I got shot, and just walk home. That's what would happen. She just no-sell death. Good grief.
But Paul sees Roman and his whole smile fades. He's like, oh no, it's the tribal chief. Like he didn't know he was going to be there. What the hell? And everybody's out of their gear. They're all standing in the ring. They're all looking at each other. Bell rings, Paul's on the outside, and I don't know who starts fighting first. No, Punk gets out the ring, and Roman and Seth start fighting first, and they fight.
Yeah.
And eventually Punk fights somebody.
I mean,
and Seth and
it's a 3-way. Everybody, it's a multi-man match. They did their thing. See why you turn your phone off?
Hey, I didn't know the Offspring was gonna call.
See, that's why you don't have kids, so they don't interrupt your commentary.
That's the reason.
That's the whole.
So,
you don't know if you're ever going to get the commentary later in life. Just don't have kids, so they can't.
It will get interrupted. Okay. So Seth and Punk, they fight and they hit with trash cans and suplex on trash cans and the whole.
You serious? I didn't see the trash can part.
Yeah, those trash cans out there in the crowd. They were fighting. And then they make it back like towards the barricade, and then Roman sails over the barricade and knocks them both down, and then he quickly checks on Punk, and Punk's like, all right, and then they go back and he grabs Punk and throws him on the Prime energy drink thing and lays him out, and then he grabs Seth and throws him on top of Punk, and they all fall, and eventually they get back in the ring. You want to pick up from there? Because I didn't take any notes on this. I was just like,
What?
Because nothing unusual was happening to the end, and we just watched it, so I don't need any help with that.
Why did you take notes? Why not?
Because I was remembering what was happening, and it was a standard match. Okay, eventually...
It was a standard match. You at least could have taken notes on the key parts near the end.
Well, I don't have to, because I remember we just watched it. So Punk is laid out for some reason. They wrestling, so somebody laid him out.
They kicking out of every finisher that they got.
And Seth is
multiple times.
Look, Seth is like, Roman, we can do this. He's a cancer. Let's get together. We can kill him and scrub him and everything.
Right here, right now. We can end all this.
So he go out there and started whooping on him, and Roman looks all conflicted, like, you know what? He's right. We can end this all. So he goes out there. He's getting all hyped up, like, yeah. Then he smacks the hell out of Seth. As a matter of fact, that's how the match started. He smacked the hell out of Seth.
Yeah, it did, ain't it?
And then he grabs Punk and puts him through the table. And
man, it was a good power. He got him up. Then he hoisted him up to make sure he hit that table right, and that table just collapsed. I wish they had gimmicked the middle so it would have broken the middle. I wish they had. And then after that, he goes over, he gets Seth, he does the same, but Seth was a bit better.
Oh, he really put him through it. And then, like, I don't like Punk, but Seth, you talk too much. Yeah.
He powerbombed Seth, didn't waste time, grabbed him, got him in the ring. Ooh, excuse me. What did he? I think he hit the spear, 1-2 kick out.
Yeah.
I was like, it's WrestleMania, epic main event. This is honestly worth more than the title. This is to actually begin an actual storyline because all other stuff is petered out. Now, before getting into this, I was like, how is this going to roll? How is this going to roll? Because he's doing a favor for CM Punk. That's not a mainstay. That's just for the moment.
Yep.
All right. He could be with Roman Reigns, my tribal chief, but tribal chief of what?
Yeah, because he alone. There's no tribe.
He don't like Jay. He don't like Jimmy. He don't want to work with anybody else. He's got no family no more.
Yeah,
so
nobody's backing him up. It's just him.
It's
tribal
just him.
Chief of me.
Seth Rollins said, because he was going to stomp Heyman and didn't, and said, now you owe me a favor. And Seth, if you think about the build up to this, Seth hasn't been anything except the third wheel to egg on the whole situation and throw out a series of I told you so's to Roman against CM Punk of the one thing I overlooked. He said he's a visionary. He said he's a revolutionary, right?
Uh-huh.
And one thing I didn't think about, he is pointing out at every single turn, and I didn't think about this, every single turn to Roman Reigns, why you fail. And Punk doesn't need a manager. Punk can talk on his own. Punk only asked as a favor to corner me. That was it. Just corner me, counsel me. That's it. You're my wise man. You're my friend. And Seth is like, you don't need Punk, and Punk don't need you. And Roman, right now, you got the chance. Take him out. And Roman's like, just as any other month, I'm not listening to you. Just like my people in my tribe that are gone, I'm not listening to you. And so that opened everything up for later. Because after this and the kick out, and then some more back and forth and fighting, what happened? Heyman just, at one point, I thought it was so funny. After all the beat down, Heyman just sitting on the steps like, I don't even know what to do.
Yeah, he just looked whipped. Like he was ready to keel over. And
Heyman went and got that chair.
Very slowly, he just kind of strolled over to the timekeeper's area and picked up a chair, and everybody's like, what you doing, man?
Just think about this. Heyman, who is associated with what? ECW. Heyman is beloved, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just picking up a chair slowly. No authority, no urgency. Just slowly pick up a chair like he's going to take it somewhere and sit down. And the crowd popped like crazy.
Yeah, because we all know at some point along the way, Heyman's going to turn on somebody.
He's got to.
And so
when does he not turn on somebody?
And I said prior to this part coming up, I was like, you think he's going to turn on Punk?
And I said, I don't think so. I said, he going to turn on Roman or both. He might choose Seth because he got nothing to do with anybody else. And I was saying that jokingly because I was like, Seth just ain't shit. No one cares. You're nothing.
No,
you're just there. Yeah, you're there for the crowd to woe your song and to wear extravagant androgynous clothing.
Nice and quilted.
But I like most of his attire though. But
I'm glad you do, baby.
That's it. I like his song. I like it. I like the theme song. I like his extravagant gear.
Like the theme chorus.
There's a lot of Seth that I like.
A lot of lyrics and chorus. No lyrics and chorus.
But when it comes to this match, when it comes to wrestling, he's almost obsolete. He's just there for commentary, in-ring commentary. But the whole time, Seth has been pushing a new story. And it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And Paul got in there, gave the chair to Punk. Roman is like, what are you doing? No. He looked heartbroken. Punk was like, yeah. Going over there and hit Roman. Wear his ass out. Low blow by Heyman.
Yep.
Everyone's like, oh my God. And she was like, yeah, I saw that coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I was indifferent to it. I was like, I don't think he's going to let Punk hit the Tribal Chief. And Tribal Chief starts smiling like, wow, yeah. I got lucky. Woo, yeah.
He gets the chair and he wears Punk out.
Yep.
Hit him about 3 good times.
He gave him 3 back shots. That is such a double entendre, y'all.
Yeah, really.
But he gave him 3 back shots.
And then Paul's like, hey, get Seth. Get him. He's big mouth and he's always talking. And Cedar don't like him. Get him. And Roman was like, Cedar don't like him? Well, I got to get him.
And so he saw us walking over there. And I was like, I looked at him and I was like, why are you so close?
I said, he finna low blow him.
Uh-huh. I was like, why are you so close? That's what she said. He finna low blow him. Bap, he got him.
And then he dug it in there. Yes. To get that wrist all on the scrotum.
He got the wrist action in. The low blow and the wrist action. That was hilarious.
Yes.
And he was wearing a nice watch, too.
Yeah, it was.
That was a damn nice watch.
Pretty red.
Saw that with Punk.
Yeah.
And then he walks over and he hands Seth that chair like, yep, out of my hands. I don't give a damn.
Yep.
And it was so nonchalant. But Seth was like, my back is turned and I know it's finna happen. And when it happened, he was like, yeah, you can see that. Please look. And he got the chair and he got behind him. I was like, well, he ain't gonna hit him in the head because that's against company policy now. And he hit him in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And, he got the curb stomp. 1, 2, 3, he wins.
Punk still didn't lose, though.
Punk didn't lose. And I was, when we was watching, I was like, it's going to take a lot. Roman Reigns is someone that don't lose at WrestleMania too often.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare. So it's got to drive something.
Yeah.
Right?
But Paul and Seth, they walk out together. And
Paul's looking like, I am the mastermind.
Yeah. If you all think this is like Seth doing some grandiose thing, no. It's Paul.
Yep.
Seth is a tool. He is a hammer. Paul is the wielder.
It'd be cool if he restarted the Dangerous Alliance and did it right this time. Because he had a good group in WCW, but I think he could do better now.
We'll see.
Instead of reigniting the Shield, do something different, ish.
Don't start a faction. That would be different.
If he started a faction, what he would need to do is bring the mid-card people that keep getting overlooked, we know are better, and just turn them into something worthwhile. Turn them into main eventers. Punk and Roman slowly over the months have to learn to work together and then, be a team. But Roman is not going to relinquish his personality to do such a thing.
Roman might take a few weeks before he come back.
Again.
Yeah.
I like one great highlight was Seth doing the capture butterfly face buster out of the spear. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought that was awesome.
I just would have pinned. I would have tried. I mean, if he did that and then do the curb stomp and didn't get the pin, so I'm like, you might as well just try the pin on this pretty good looking move and then not get it instead of. Yeah, but it was the pedigree.
He got the butterfly face buster. He did the curb stomp. Then, and as I told you then, I said he had to get Punk out the ring because Punk was in position that he could have broke up the pin. So once he got Punk out the ring, then he went for the pin. So that was smart.
Yeah, I'm not down in that. I just think that he should have. They bury finishes. That's all.
They didn't bury the finish. This is. Like if you a title match on Raw, you can kick out of a finisher once, maybe twice if it's built up. At a pay-per-view, certainly you can kick out twice, maybe 3 depending upon how it was built up. But when it's a very high-profile main event at WrestleMania, 3-way match. No, you can kick out, especially when you've built up for about 4 pay-per-views that Rollins and Punk are kicking out of each other's moves. They're allowed a lot of kickouts. They are, because they're adjusting to it. That's the story you can put with it. I'm adjusting to this damage. I know what to expect. I'm good. Just like LA Knight with that capture BFT on Fatu. It's like I done got BME'd enough to know when it's coming up. It was beautiful. So this, yes, and Roman, that Superman punch, he might have to stop doing that because it looked about as bad as Orange Cassidy.
The problem I'm having is
it was close to more like a Superman sliding forearm.
I don't think I made myself clear. After the capture pedigree,
yeah,
he should have went for the pin.
Now boom, 1, 2, and Punk pulls him off. You want to avoid that, and he done kicked out of other stuff, so you're gonna kick out of this. Let me nail him with that next one. And 1, 2, Punk pulls him off.
I just think it's fucked up for it to be a setup move, but okay, if that's
it was a setup move, and I agree with you on any other day. If this was Raw or SmackDown and he used that as a setup move, I'd be like, you just made your move look so stupid. I would be right there with you. But pay-per-view is meant to build up more. Basically, you become a little superhuman on the pay-per-view.
Okay.
If it's a one and done, then that match should have been about 8 minutes?
No, I wasn't looking for it to be one and done. It's just that there are so many moves you could do don't turn a well-known finisher into a setup. That's all I'm saying. And if you're gonna use it, and you know the match gonna continue anyway, whether they kick out or Punk interrupts it, does it make that much of a difference?
Punk put on what, 4 go to sleeps, GTSs?
Yeah, but it's not like
Roman hit about what, 5, 6 spears?
Yes, but my point is he did not do the last ride and then do go to sleep. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you. I hear you. I just wish you could hear me.
I do hear you, but I'm like, because he was going to kick out of it anyway, the match was going to continue.
So you saying he should have hit the butterfly face buster, go for the pin, Punk break it up, because it was going to be a kick out no matter what.
Yeah.
So save the move is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I hear you on that. That is logical. Like, you're going to kick out anyway, don't waste it. You know, you did it. He won't kicking out. Punk had to save him. Cool. I wish they did elimination.
I wish they did. I forget triple threat. Eliminate. Talk about fighting hard.
Elimination match would have been good.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I would have done it, because I want to see who actually win, not who didn't lose.
Yeah.
And Punk didn't lose. And after what happened to Roman, most likely, yeah, he's going to be out for a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. We haven't watched Raw.
Well, you know, we know he's got a chronic condition.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking that, you know, they give him the time to rest up and then come back. That's what I'm guessing.
He's trying to wrestle. He wants to be. That's his love.
He
wrestling.
could be good to go, but you know, you have to do what your body needs to.
Yeah, if you don't listen to your body, it's
It'll
over.
Check out on you.
Yeah. So Roman's doing the right thing. So look, that was all the matches, and I'm gonna say this because I want to say this match was an amazing 5-star storytelling 3-way match.
Yeah.
This was top-notch storytelling, story driving, story building, a not just an end, but as Triple H monologued in the beginning, a beginning. This was a beginning. 3-way matches, just stand alone. Honestly, stand and deliver. The title match, main event 3-way.
That was good.
That blows WrestleMania out of the water.
Yes, that was good.
Obafemi, Javon
Evans, and Trick Williams.
Just, man, that match was beyond compare good. Just damn beautiful. Javon Evans is small. He is the cheeseburger of NXT, but damn, he's good. He's so good. Because of them, because of Ricky Starks, Sean Spears, and a few others, you know, Ethan Page, I watch NXT.
Yeah.
You know, we gets down with that. You know, maybe y'all should. And look, let us know. Do you want us to start reviewing that too? You know, you want to start? It'll be probably NXT-ish.
Yeah. Not everything is great.
Not everything is great.
But even their women's ladder match was good.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because they never do those well.
It has some stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But
overall, it has some different stuff in it. And
got to see an inverted flipping cutter.
Yeah.
I was like, the world? And I know she didn't innovate it, but
she did it on 2 chicks at the
same
time.
And then did it on 1. I was okay.
Yeah.
This is new. There was a lot to see. Ricky Starks with his first title defense, and it was good. Mm-hmm. He and Paige worked beautiful together, just like in AEW. So NXT is something to watch, I think.
Yeah.
So with that said, this has been Cedric and Cedric for CR Wrestling Commentary on WrestleMania in Las Vegas, Nevada. Want y'all to be cool, be chill, be safe, so we can see you, well, on day 2.